Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now December 8th of 2023, and given that everything that has been happening between Bob Iger and Elon Musk has been really not good for Disney to say the least, but let's not forget about what they actually have been doing. With Doctor Who by the BBC, with the new Disney Plus deal, we know that Doctor Who is going to have basically an endless future on the Disney Plus platform, and how Bob Iger is utilizing ESG and DEI to be used in a very unique and specific way that they have discussed with the heads over at BBC, and how it's going to be fully established moving onwards. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, let me just be clear, the BBC is just as bad as Disney is, especially with DEI and ESG, if not worse. But one thing that was agreed upon within this Disney Plus deal was that Disney would have a big say in the matter of how exactly, specifically, ESG and DEI would be applied season by season or series by series, whatever have you, right? Now, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary so far has been a disaster, to say the least, and it's all gonna stop on December 9th. Tomorrow is the last segment of the 60th anniversary of the three-parter event, and it's gonna be interesting to see exactly what the Rotten Tomatoes score or any kind of fan reception is gonna look like post December 9th, and how Disney's gonna go into more damage control along with the BBC. Now, this is where things get interesting on Bob Iger's side of things, and exactly how he is endlessly defending what's going on with the Doctor Who series Backlash, or the 60th anniversary special Backlash. Alright, he's trying to go up against that, per se, I should say. Now, with both the BBC and Disney doubling down on their usage of DEI and ESG into the future of Doctor Who on Disney Plus, one major development has to do with Bob Iger's stance on the entire situation, with the Backlash from the 60th anniversary special, also known as the David Tennant special, that concludes on December 9th. Now, Iger went on to deliver the following. We here at Disney are fully honored to have partnered with the BBC to provide the Doctor Who series to obtain this opportunity with reaching a global audience easier for everyone around the world. I would be lying if I have not noticed any kind of widespread criticism over the 60th anniversary special. As CEO, it is my job to be very transparent with our customers, and I can't stress this enough, that we do not engage in any culture wars, nor does the BBC. We do, however, support and embrace our usage of diversity, equity, and inclusion into our products, especially into our entertainment field, and we see that as a non-issue and only fair to everyone who can get the chance to star and perform in these stunning projects of ours and with the BBC's. Now guys, let me just say one thing about that right there and how it's so contradictory. You notice how Bob Iger says we don't engage in any culture war. He says this all the time, it's so repetitive, but then goes on to say how they fully embrace DEI and ESG and all this craziness, right? So, the thing about that is that in and of itself is an agenda. It is a culture war, as far as I'm concerned, because of how contradictory in nature it really is. So, moving on, he goes on to elaborate further. What we don't support are those that attempt to convince others that what we here at Disney or the BBC is doing with the future of Doctor Who is an agenda-driven project or holds some form of a culture war attempt, and that's what Disney does not stand for. We are more than happy to announce that the 60th anniversary will be ending on the 9th, and we look forward for the years to come working with the BBC and their attempts to create equality for everyone and how we can normalize that and promote these strategies on our Disney Plus business model. This, however, does not mean or establish that we are support or pushing any kind of a culture war or agenda-driven strategy on our end or from the BBC, and we fully support the way BBC is handling the future of Doctor Who. The loud, opinionated, and biased takes that have surfaced for this special is nothing more than a minority, and the data that we have analyzed suggests that both the BBC and our Disney Plus platform will have a very bright future with the new series and tales within the Doctor Who universe. Now, let me just stop here for a moment, guys, quick. Now, Doctor Who, alright, we all know that it's not going to look good for a lot of fans for 2024 moving onwards. Let alone the 60th anniversary has been getting terrible feedback, awful reviews left and right. Sure, some people out there loved the special, and if you guys liked it, hey, that's good for you. Look, I'm here not to kind of, export anybody that does not want to deal with, Doctor Who or wants to deal with Doctor Who. Everyone's free to comment what they want to comment. But I think it's really safe to say here that the majority of Doctor Who fans are absolutely fed up with what the 60th anniversary holds by the BBC's overall strategies and their agendas that are being fully supported, by the way, by Disney, and how Disney is going to actually be fine-tuning how it's going to be utilized for the upcoming seasons/series. Alright? So, the next thing, alright, he goes on to conclude, we do not support those that are against diversity, equity, and inclusion, and for those that are opposed to, of course, then this is perhaps not the entertainment form or content for those that believe in those ways. As CEO, I am happy to announce that we will be launching new business strategies for Disney Plus throughout all of 2024 to expand our reach. Gee, it really makes you wonder, right? What kind of strategies, business-wise, are Bob Iger embracing? Is Bob Iger, embracing here to basically kind of improve the reach of Disney Plus? Now, we know that there's a lot of subscribers leaving the platform now after the whole Elon Musk drama. We all know that, at least, going by where I stand, everyone that I know dropped their Disney Plus accounts after the whole Elon Musk situation, so to speak. They were going to drop it anyway, but I think that the whole Elon thing was really the ultimate push that kind of reminded them, oh, I still got a Disney Plus account, let's X that out. No pun intended. But what's interesting about this too is that we have Bob Iger once again, defending DEI, everything being thrown by the BBC into Doctor Who. That's just, honestly, in my opinion, worse than what Disney is currently doing with their movies and projects. And that really speaks volumes. The fact that they support that and that they are very proud of how the BBC is handling the 60th anniversary, that's quite concerning if you are looking forward to anything Marvel, Star Wars, or just Disney live action material. It's not looking good in the least for the remaining years of the 2020s. I can pretty much guarantee that by the time that we hit 2025, I think that Disney's going to be in a standstill with their content, because that's where you're going to get an overload of Marvel Cinematic Universe material, Star Wars TV shows on Disney Plus, stuff around those lines, because of how many delays that they have gone through, and everything that is pretty much excluded in 2024, except for Deadpool 3. Like, that's the big movie that they're banking on right now for the MCU, and even that's falling into criticism behind the scenes. Ryan Reynolds getting into creative differences with Disney is just the beginning. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.